those motivational speakers will say, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. If I can cite a book, I must read it. Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Oreoluwa Kolawole Precious, and today's video is titled Unlocking My World of Books. I said it in my first video that I am a reader. I read a lot. So this video will be basically introducing you guys to the kinds of book I read and my best books and authors so far. So because I want to look bookish, I'll be putting on my pair of glasses, and now I have that bookish look. So guys, I said earlier the title of this video is Unlocking My World of Books, and I'll start by sharing my journey on how I became a reader. So I started reading as early as I can remember, back then in primary school, and I just enjoyed reading. I really enjoyed it, just going into the world of people, reading their thoughts, reading their mind, reading about what happened to them. I really enjoyed it. But now the thing is that I can't remember the first book I read ever, but I knew I started reading as early as I could. But going to secondary school, I remembered my first night I spent outside my house, in the boarding house. After my parents left me, I was sad. I was like, wow, so no mom, no dad, nothing. And that night we had prep, so we asked to go to our various classes to read. And I started crying. I remembered my mom, I remembered my dad, my brothers, and I was just sad. And something came into my mind. Open your locker. I opened my locker and I saw novels. Not novels, let me say storybooks, but they were not that slim. It's not the normal storybooks we know, like something for GS1 students. Now it was not really bulky, but it was not really small. And so that was when because we went to collect our list of books and everything, so I just picked up my book, I wiped my tears, and I started reading. I can't remember the title of those books, but I know there were two of them. One had a peach cover and the other had a green cover, and I started reading it, and I forgot totally that I was even thinking of my parents. And immediately I knew that reading books would be like a solace for me. Like I'll start finding solace in books, and that was how the journey started. Now I had to leave my boarding house to another school, to Mayflower secondary school, and there I was in Standard Balogun still, and I met a lot of girls that loved reading, and I was really happy that yes, I have my sisters here. And so we read storybooks. And there's this particular girl, Kofo brings a lot of books. Kofo Laiton, she brings a lot of storybooks from her house anytime I'm coming back from the holidays. And she's this kind of person that sometimes she won't want to give us her books to read. And I am someone that once I can cite a book, those motivational speakers will say, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. If I can cite a book, I must read it. So there is nothing. So I will go ask her, Kofo, please, when you are done with this storybook, can you please borrow me? Sometimes she won't want to. I will like, no problem. Then I'll wait for night. I operate in the night. Books made me become a fabber. I won't say a thief, because the title we call people that steal petty things then back in those days was fabbers. So I actually fabbed storybooks from Kofo. So I'll go to her locker anyway she can, keep it, take it, read fast, and I'm a very fast reader. So I read through it and just go and return it. And there's this particular book I read when I was in secondary school that really struck me, and that was The Last Days at Focados High School. Our seniors read it for their senior WAEC, and I think I read that book thrice or four times. I was so engrossed. Like I can't remember the author, but I really love that book. It was talking about Jimmy, talking about romance among teenagers, and it was interesting. And I knew that reading is just that thing for me. And I started moving forward. Then this Nanny Boy series also made me a reader, because it writes in parts. part one, different book part two, and at the end of every book there's always a suspense. So I'm always like, and I'm someone that wants to know more. I'm inquisitive, so I'll be like, what's happening, let me see what happened. So I will look for the next chapter. And there's this particular book, Take Me Home. That book got most of us, like, really, that man really enticed me with his books, and I became a reader. Another thing that um made me a reader was when we moved nearly to our new house. There was no light. The house was not fully set up before we moved in as a family, so we just had to manage anything that came our way. So there was no light and everything, and everywhere was just boring. And before we moved to our new house, someone gifted my brother and I a Bible written in children's language, not KJV, not NIV. And my brother was just like, see, let's just start reading. And we started reading. Christians here, we know that you have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Acts. Those four books of the Bible are very interesting, talking about the story of Jesus. So they were more like a storybook to us, not even Bible. So we read back and forth, and just used to while away time. While there was light in other houses, we didn't have light, so we were just reading. And before you knew it, I got to know Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and this woman got me totally. Like, I was so engrossed in her books, and I've read most of her books. I've read Purple Hibiscus that was written in 2003. I've read Half of a Yellow Sun, The Thin Around Your Neck, Americana, The Visit, Dear Ijewele, We All Should Be Feminists, Zikora, and I think I just have one of her books that I've not read, which is Notes on Grief. She wrote it back in 2021 when she lost her dad, and I'm still going to read it. Definitely, I'm still going to hunt that book down. Other books I read when I finally left secondary school, apart because I was an art student, so obviously we read a lot of books. We read Shakespeare, we read Amadako Faceless, we read Othello, we read a lot of books. But then they were interesting, I loved them. But it can't be like the way I explored my world looking for. So I noticed that the kind of books I read are fiction, interesting fiction that talks about women, that talks about relationship, family, romance, and those are the books I enjoy. And I think I said it earlier, I don't read motivational books. I don't like it. But because of one thing or the other, I started reading at least one or twice in a month. Then other female authors I read was Nikki May Wahala. I know you guys should just calm down. I'll start book reviews very soon, and I have wonderful books to be reviewed. By CNA. That's Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. There's this lady, Yinka Blackburn. She wrote a book, Yinka, Where's Your Husband? I'm going to review that book definitely, and you guys don't wait to read it. Then there are other two male authors I read, which are John Green and Chimika Garrix. John Green is actually an Americana. He's American, and he wrote. I got to know him through a friend, The Fault in Our Stars, and I fell in love with every of his book after that. The Fault in Our Stars, Looking for Alaska, Churches All the Way Down, and guys, they are so interesting. I got to love him. Then Chimeka Garrix, I said it in my first video, is just fighting with Chimamanda in my heart. So far so good. I've read just two of his books, and I think those are the only ones he has written so far. Tomorrow Died Yesterday and A Broken People's Playlist. That's A Broken People's Playlist is a collection of short stories, and Chimamanda has something similar to that, which is The Thin Around Your Neck, and I've read both of them, and I think Igbos are actually gifted with that thing. No, Lizzie Blackburn, Damilola is also Yoruba. Yinka, Where's Your Husband? Then other writers I'm looking forward to read out already on my to be read list are Tola Rotimi Abraham, Sisi Dangaremgba, one lady like that. She's actually on my, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Then Sefiata, Jane Igaro, and so on and so forth. So guys, if you are also a reader, if you are a book lover like me, I want you to comment down in the book section, in the comment section. I said book section. And out of all these books I've listed, tell me the ones you've read and your best books out of them, and let me know about your best authors and the books you want me to review. So till next time we meet again, bye.